All right, folks. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whatever time it is, wherever ever in this world it is that you are. Welcome once more to another live stream of Alexandra Mayers Live, page by page reading and commentary of the modern English version of the Bible. So today we're going to go back into the first book of Kings, chapter 10, which revolves around the Queen of Sheba and Solomon's wealth. So it should be interesting. On a personal note, I'm feeling pretty good. Hey there, PWT. Good to see you. I'm feeling good. This weekend I should be solidifying some travel plans for mid-February. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm on the quest as of current for warm snow pants or snowboarding pants. And then the question is, what color pants do I want to get? I already have a rose gold coat. Hopefully that particular coat I have is warm enough for where I'm going. I think it will be. If it's not, I'm thinking I could always just get another coat when I get there. But I just don't really want to buy any more clothes. Like, I've been on this mission to be a minimalist, and I have like the perfect wardrobe, but this particular trip I'm going to need warmer clothes, and really the only additional clothes I want to get maybe a white or a cream colored turtleneck and those snowboard pants. That's really all I want to get that's new. So that's something I have to do. As I was saying in a previous installment of this series, I had like a rough weekend when it comes to someone that I know who's making really bad choices. And I took a look, this morning at their channel, and they made the same bad choice again. So I think what I'm going to do is just not watch their channel because there's nothing I can do to help them. I already tried to help them several years ago. I reached out to somebody who's the leader of a group that he used to be a part of, but I heard him really trash talking that group on his stream. So maybe that group shouldn't reach out to him. Maybe this guy does need to learn the hard way because he's going to end up probably in the hospital, but maybe that's what's supposed to happen. But I've decided I don't want to focus on that. You're saying I should go to NOLA? No, thank you. Excuse me for yawning so much, but no thanks. But thank you for offering. So anyway, let's go ahead and read this. The Queen of Sheba. Now when the Queen of Sheba heard Solomon's fame connected to the name of the Lord, she came to test him with hard questions. She came to Jerusalem with a very great retinue, with camels bearing spices and very much gold and precious stones. And when she came to Solomon, she told him all that was on her mind. So she came bearing gifts, and she felt like talking. Sometimes it's just like that. Sometimes it's just like that. Maybe she feels like me. Maybe she felt like, hey, I want to go on a trip. So let me bring some resources with me, and then maybe I'll have an interesting conversation. Good for her. Solomon answered all her questions. There was not anything too difficult for the king, which he could not answer. When the Queen of Sheba observed Solomon's wisdom, and the house he had built, and the meat of his table, and the sitting of his servants, and the attendance of his ministers, and their clothing, and his cupbearers, and his entryway by which he went up to the house of the Lord, it took her breath away. She said to the king, "What I heard in my own land about your acts and your wisdom was true. I did not believe it until I came and saw it with my own eyes. And behold, the half was not told to me. Your wisdom and prosperity are greater than the stories I heard. Happy are your men, and happy are these your servants, who stand continually before you and hear your wisdom. Okay, so she'd heard all these, rumors and stories, and like the gossip, and she didn't buy it. So she went to go see for herself and investigate. Good for her. I like this woman, so far at least. Blessed be the Lord your God, who delighted in you and set you on the throne of Israel, because the Lord loved Israel forever. Therefore he made you king in order to execute judgment and justice. She gave the king 120 talents of gold and a great amount of spices and precious stones. No one gave as many spices as the Queen of Sheba gave to King Solomon. So he wasn't just already eating good. He was going to have some really, 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 really good barbecue because he had some spices that maybe he'd never had before. And that's cool. It's interesting how spices were really valuable back then, but I guess it had to do with location. The ships of Hiram, which brought gold from Ophir, also brought from Ophir a large quantity of, I don't know this word, almug wood and precious stones. The king made pillars for the house of the Lord out of the almug trees, and harps also, and psalteries for singers for the king's house. Never before has such almug wood been brought, nor has any such been seen to this day. King Solomon gave to the Queen of Sheba all she desired, no matter what she asked for, in addition to what Solomon gave her from his royal bounty. So she turned and went to her own country, she and her servants. So they kind of did like a trade. She brought stuff to him, he gave her stuff. They had a good conversation. She's able to report back to everybody else, yeah, this guy really has it going on. And that was it. Solomon's wealth. Now the weight of the gold that came to Solomon in 1 year was 666 talents of gold. In addition, he collected from the merchantmen and the traffic of the spice merchants, and from all the kings of Arabia and the governors of the country. King Solomon made 200 large shields of beaten gold made of 600 shekels of gold each. He made 300 shields of beaten gold with 3 minas of gold in each shield. And the king put them in the house of the forest of Lebanon. The king also made a great throne of ivory and overlaid it with the best gold. I bet that was very pretty. The throne had 6 steps, and the back of the throne was round, and there were armrests, on either side of the seat, with 2 lions standing beside the armrest. 12 lions stood on the sides of the 6 steps, and there was no other like it in any kingdom. All of King Solomon's drinking cups were made of gold, and all the cups of the house of the forest of Lebanon were made of pure gold. None were made of silver, for it was not considered valuable in the days of Solomon. Interesting. I wonder why. For the king had ships at sea at Tarshish with the ships of Hiram. Every 3 years the ships of Tarshish came bringing gold, silver, ivory, apes, and peacocks. So King Solomon exceeded all the kings of the earth in terms of riches and wisdom. All the earth came to Solomon to hear his wisdom, which God had put in his heart. Everyone brought an annual tribute in the form of presents, silver and gold cups, garments, armor, spices, horses, and mules. Solomon gathered together chariots and horsemen. He had 1,400 chariots and 12,000 horsemen, whom he stationed in the cities for the chariots with the king at Jerusalem. The king made silver to be in Jerusalem as plentiful as stones, and he made cedars to be as plentiful as sycamore trees in the valley. Solomon had horses brought out of Egypt along with linen yarn. The king's merchants received the linen yarn at a price. He brought chariots from Egypt at a price of 600 shekels of silver and a horse for 150. And he exported them to all the kings of the Hittites and the kings of Aram by their means. Okay. It's interesting how they would accept tributes of silver, but silver supposedly wasn't valuable at that time. Why accept the tribute? Also, I want to look up what an almug tree looks like, because I'm not familiar with that. Let me do that very quickly. Almug wood. Let's see what that looks like. Ooh. It looks almost like it's marbled. That's what it looks like. That's why it's such a big deal. Look at that. It's very pretty. You all should look up what almug wood looks like. Look at this one. Wow. Okay. Well, it has a very reddish sort of tone to it. I can see why people liked it. Okay. It is a very special sort of look. It's very pretty. Okay. See, this is why I love the internet, because you can look up instantly things that you wonder about. All right, everyone have a great day. I'm going to do an audio-only stream very quickly over on my other channel, because I'm kind of sickened when it comes to a certain person's behavior. And it's not anything I can control, but I am sickened by it, so I'm going to make it known. Anyway, I'll talk to you all later. Have a good day. Bye-bye.